Welcome to the Socks Off podcast. I'm your host, Brianna, and every Friday, preferably at 6, our socks are actually off, and we just like to get comfy and dive into juicy topics that I prefer to talk about. So, without further ado, let's dive into this juicy topic. So today I'm going to talk about TV shows and how they portray the main characters to be the most lovable, likable person when in actuality, when you pay attention to them, they're actually quite boring. They really are. First victim show, The Vampire Diaries. Now guys, I've rewatched the show so many times, and I've gotten my little sister to watch it. At first, she likes to claim, this is what I don't like, when you try and put your siblings onto shows and then they fall in love with it, but not long ago they were fucking dissing you when you were watching it. Yeah, she was one of those. I'd watch a certain show and she'd diss me on it. I'd be like, no, I think you would love this show, you'd love it. And then she'd be like, no, I'm not watching it. Fast forward now, she's watching Vampire Diaries and she is hooked. She's obsessed. And I was like, I told you you'd love it. Anyways, just had to get that out there, because if you have siblings or friends, or just you're always in that situation where you're recommending shows to people and then they diss you and then they become obsessed with it and you're just like, wow, there's some sort of satisfaction that I feel. I definitely did feel satisfied. I was like, yeah, mission complete, I am that bitch. Yeah. Anyways, Elena, we already know is boring, but I'm not going to talk about her. Stefan freaking Salvatore. I just want to say, the way that they portrayed him in season freaking 1, they made him seem like, he's a vampire and he just can't control his nature and he wants to be good, but it's not in his nature to be good, and he loves Elena and he's trying to protect Elena from fucking Damon, his scary Mary brother. Now, if you've watched the Vampire Diaries back to front, even if you haven't watched it back to front, if you've just watched it throughout, you'll start to notice some patterns, especially between the Salvatore brothers. Damon will do something within his vampire nature, and Stefan will shame him. He'll attempt to make him feel so freaking bad for what he's done, as if that's just not in his nature to be like that anyways. And good on Damon for just, rolling with the punches, and in terms of the insults that he just gives him, he's like, okay, I don't care, and he throws it back at him, as he should. But I'm telling you guys, when I got to the season where they revealed that Stefan had a Ripper phase, I took nothing that Stefan said seriously. Every time Stefan came on the screen, I didn't care. I was like, you fucking hypocrite. If you watch the show the way the producers and the writers intended for you to watch it, of course you're going to be Team Stefan. Of course you're going to be Team Stefan, because that's how the writers set it up. They want you to be Team Stefan. Stefan is meant to be the good brother, and Damon's meant to be the bad brother, the villain one. The way shows, they just set certain characters up. I'm saying this as if these characters are real people, but I will get into a deeper topic with this. But the way certain things are written to make certain characters seem, but when you actually deep their behaviors and just see them in action, you just think to yourself, they're not that bad. Especially with Damon Salvatore. In season 2, I think it really clicked with me, and then again when I rewatched it, especially in season 1, I was just deep in it, and I was like, knowing who you are, Stefan, your brother's actually the better one. Your brother's way better. And let's not forget, guys, was it not Stefan that that encouraged Damon to become a vampire? Of course, he willingly took Catherine's blood, but if I'm not mistaken, was it not Stefan that encouraged him to continue with his vampire acts? So, sorry, I just wanted to squash that debate, because, it angers me so much. Like, why did we let that happen? Why did we let the writers do that? Why did we let them think that they could mindfuck us into thinking that Stefan was the better one? Because he's fucking not. He's really not. Another villain / main character duo that I want to talk about is Gossip Girl, Serena Vanderwoodson and Blair Waldorf. Not gonna lie, this one is like, I have to talk about this. Because if I don't talk about this, I'm going to be pissed off that I didn't talk about this, because this is like the classic, late 2000s TV show sort of situation. You have your blonde main character who is meant to be like an angel, and she's sweet and innocent, golden retriever vibes, and then you've got the catty frenemy of hers that is a brunette, black cat vibes, confident in herself, but that confidence is seen as arrogance. You are a 2000s baby, obviously you've grown up watching shows like this. I feel like there's just a common teenage drama shows where you've got the main character who is a blonde girl, and then the brunette girl that is meant to be the villain. Guys, Barbie enforced this as well. Like, if you guys have watched Barbie Life in the Dream House, where Raquel, she's like the jealous one and she's got black hair and stuff, and then Barbie, she's like the angel, she's the perfect one, she's blonde, she's got her whole life together. That used to piss me off as well, because I'm like, does Raquel not get a break? I get it, she's meant to be jealous of Barbie, but this cannot be her whole life motivation. I know there's some haters out there that make it their whole life mission to hate on people, but Raquel looks like she has hobbies. Let's not, like, her only hobby is definitely not attacking Barbie and making sure that she fucking suffers. Like, I know Raquel has hobbies. Look at the woman. Like, because every time I looked at Raquel, number one, she was funny, and I was younger. I was like, what, 7, 8, when I was watching Barbie. Raquel must have said something so funny. I was cackling for like a good 10 minutes, because she's just that girl. She's funnier than Barbie. She has personality. Okay, she does. But she's just so fucking perfect, and it's boring. It's boring. And I think that's the problem with these shows. Like, they will make the main character seem so perfect that they're just boring. Like, I don't want to watch the show about this person. I want to watch the show because of the other characters. Like, okay, wow, great, Barbie's been on the moon. Wow, what is Raquel doing? Because I know she's at home trying to make cookies, poisonous cookies for Barbie to eat, and she's going, like, it's fucking wrong, but I bet it would be such an entertaining thing to watch. There was points where I'd watch the show purely just to watch Barbie's animals talk, because you know what, they'd be in like their confessionals. I'd be like, oh my god, is the pet gonna talk? And it talk. I'd get so gassed. Like, I don't watch shows for the main characters unless the main character is meant to be interesting and funny and charming, like Lucifer. Guys, I finished it the other day. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. Like, that show is perfect. It's just lighthearted. It's got the perfect mix of lightheartedness and drama, and the tension is perfect. I love it. If you haven't watched Lucifer, watch it. It's such a good binge-worthy show. Even with Lucifer, he's the main character, and he's not perfect. And I think that's why I love watching shows like that, because you can relate to the character. If you can't relate to the character, you're not going to like the character, and the character's going to be boring in your eyes. It's also super unrealistic to meet someone and then not find their, like, quirks charming. When I was watching Lucifer, like, if you watch the show, he just sometimes does not get social cues, like, at all. But it's the most charming thing about him, because he's so literal sometimes. It's like, Lucifer, that's not how the conversation was meant to go. And he completely is oblivious to social settings sometimes. But that's what's so good about the show, and that's what's partly addictive, because you watch the show and you can relate to that, because there's definitely been instances where you've been in a situation where you just did not get social cues. It's charming because you can relate to it. You need to be able to relate to the character, especially if they're going to be on your screen most of the time you're watching the show. I'm going to want to relate to the character. I want to feel like I'm with the character, not I'm just watching the character live its perfect life. Okay, bitch. Wow, your hair's straight again. It's perfectly straight. Wow. Like, I don't care. Now, back to Gossip Girl. I think what's so interesting with Gossip Girl is that they were definitely progressive in so many ways. One of the ways that they tried to be progressive, but I don't think it played out well, was with Serena. And she's the main character, and she's not meant to be perfect. She's very scruffy. In words of Blair Waldorf, did you even shower today? Because it's so true. Every time I look at Serena, have you showered? Have you showered? Like, every time she comes on the screen, it looks like she's had sex just 2 seconds ago. She's a mess. But it's obviously done on purpose, so we can look at her and be like, oh wow, she's so charming. Like, she's such a wild card. Like, she's so cool. And she's so hip and fresh. And see, this is what I don't like. When writers try and force this quirk onto certain characters, we can tell that you're doing that. So stop. Just let the character be naturally them. And obviously, there's no such thing as letting characters be naturally themselves, because the writers are writing them. But you can tell in Gossip Girl, they really tried to make Serena look like, you know, she's like this carefree spirit, and she just, that might be her appearance, and that might be the first impression that we get off of her just by looking at her, but her behavior did not scream carefree, careless. It felt like she knew what she was doing, and she was very intentional with it. That's the scariest part. And the only person that was able to agree with me was Blair Waldorf. And every time Blair called her out for it, she was made to seem like the bad guy. Now that I think about it, Blair was mean, but it was with good reason. She has a good heart, guys. What Blair was doing, she was doing charity work, okay? She has a good heart. They've been friends since they were kids. So she probably sees her as like her sister and is like, girl. And it's not like Serena couldn't handle it. She threw it back. And then Serena would victimize herself. That was a bully. But Serena was not getting bullied by Blair. Let's make that clear. Blair was a bully, but Serena was not getting bullied by Blair. The reason why Serena was getting bullied by Blair is because Serena was bullying Blair herself. I think Serena was the real bully, but she got her emotionally. She picked on her in like the most subtlest ways, and I think this is why Blair secretly hates her. Well, not even secretly. Blair openly hates her, but Serena secretly hates her. And I think she's just jealous of Blair. Because think about it, Blair is put together. Do you know, that's all I can actually say about Blair. She's just put together. But she is funny. Blair's really fucking witty. Like, do not play with... Listen, if someone ever said to me, Blair Waldorf is Drake's ghostwriter, I'd believe them. Because that bitch, quick one-liners, so funny. She just has that British humour. I fucking love it. And Serena just panders too much. Like, babe, stop. You're not funny. You're charming. That's why people like you. You're charming. You're not funny. Okay? There's a difference. But yeah, the way Serena would pick on Blair was very calculated. That's what Serena is. Because Blair is also calculated. But again, everything bad about Blair, everyone knows. She doesn't hide it. She doesn't deny it either. She knows that she's a bad person. She doesn't care. Like, she just goes on with her day. But Serena doesn't like being labelled as the bad guy. She does not like it at all because it ruins her reputation. Not even her reputation. She just doesn't like the guilty feeling weighed on her conscience. Thing is, with Blair, she will do things with chest and she will keep it stepping. That is how a real bitch moves, okay, bitch? If you're gonna be a bitch, have some oomph to you. And I think, yeah, Serena's just always been threatened by that. The way she, again, portrays herself is this wild, carefree spirit. So you would think that she's confident, but there are some insecurities behind everything she does because she does the most reckless things. Sometimes she's a bit too reckless and then she feels shameful about it. She'll be quick to distribute the blame to everyone else but herself. She doesn't really like to hold herself accountable. And yeah, Blair does that too, but Blair's quick to realise that and she'll be like, okay, cool. I fucked up. Whoops. But can you blame me? You know what I mean? Like, she owns up to her mistakes. She's very, cheeky about it and she moves on. Serena, on the other hand, she'll make it a whole big deal. She'll blame this person, that person. She hates taking accountability. She won't talk to anyone for weeks because of how guilty she feels, but she'll make it seem like it's their fault. Like, girl, come on. You're not 5. So instead of, verbally abusing Blair, Serena will emotionally be mean to her friend. Like, she won't speak to her for weeks. She'll ghost her because I didn't like the tone that you used with me, instead of just bringing it up to her. She'll chat to someone that Blair does not fuck with. Why? Just to fuck with her, just to piss her off. And don't get it twisted, Blair has, like I said, she has had her, villain moments, but I feel like the show highlights that more instead of making it equal. The way they've set it up, the way they've portrayed the characters has made it seem like Blair is the ultimate villain and Serena is an angel, when Serena has her faults too, and sometimes it does get shown in the show, but not as often as we'd like it to be, or not as often as Blair's faults get shown in the show. Like, Serena is a fucking shit show. If I had Serena Vanderwoodson as my friend, I wouldn't. No. If I had to choose between the two, I'd choose Blair, because at least Blair is open with her actions. She's predictable. She's so predictable. Well, no, she's not predictable. Okay, because this bitch, she's got some tricks up her sleeves. But you can feel it coming. With Blair, you can feel it coming. With Serena, she's weird. And she likes to hide under a mask. And she's fake. She's fake as fuck. I don't like that. With Blair, she'll let you know that she doesn't like you. Okay? She'll give you the heads up. Like, babes, just to let you know, I will fuck you over if you don't step out my way. You didn't step out my way? Okay, I'm fucking you over. Just wait until it comes then. Serena's super weird. She likes to make people feel insecure, but emotionally insecure. She'll just do weird, it's like really weird mean girls in school. They don't say weird things to you, but they just make you feel weird. Oh my god, so this was not in school. This was, I'm not even going to say where it was, but this wasn't in school. So I'm in a group situation. One guy, 2 girls, and there's obviously me. Let me not even explain the setup. Long story short, the girl has her back face to me, and I'm like, oh. In fact, no, let me just cut that out because no, I can't cut that out though because it's important. I need to teach you guys a lesson. Not even it. It helps the point that I'm making. Anyways, it's a group conversation, but she has her back face to me. Okay. And instead of involving me into the conversation, yeah, she's got her back face to me, and I'm just like scratching my head a bit, and I'm like, okay, let me participate. It's like my responses were not acknowledged at all, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, cute. But that just goes to show that is intentional. If you ever feel like, okay, the vibes are off, especially as women, we know when the vibes are off in a social setting. And it just it just takes me back to Serena Van Dutz, and I'm like, oh my god, no. Serena used to do shit like this, and so did Blair, but Serena did shit like this as well, and it was like emotionally manipulates people to make them feel bad so that they just don't speak up in conversations or they don't involve themselves or whatever. But Serena targeted Blair and Blair only. She didn't really do it to other people because, again, she needs to keep up this image. Duh. She did it to Blair and Blair only. Whereas Blair doesn't do it with the people close to her because she prioritizes the people close to her. She takes care of the people close to her. She cares about them. She would do it to the people outside of her because she doesn't know them. She's cautious of them. She wants to ward them off. She doesn't want new people in her section, where Serena's like the complete opposite. So, watching that show was interesting. Even rewatching it is super interesting. And I think this is what I mean about that show being very progressive and future forward. Avant-garde, that's the word I was looking for. The show is very avant-garde in the way that they set up the main character and villain dynamic, because there were moments where Blair and Serena were best of friends and oh my god, they've got the cutest friendship, and then they were complete enemies, and then they were complete strangers. Like, I loved that motion of the friendship during the show. It kept it interesting. And unlike other shows, Serena had personality. And I think that's why I kept on watching the show even more. And it wasn't just Serena that was the main character. You could watch other characters and their lives too, and they all had different personalities that you could watch through. And like, I might be like, okay, Brianna, you did say that this was gonna lead into a deeper topic. What is the deeper topic? Okay, we're gonna get a little bit political here. The deeper topic that I wanted to delve into is the way that, the media in general portrays certain countries and certain people, and how with misinformation you can consume a piece of media for a long amount of time, but if you don't watch things with discernment or media literacy, you will fall into the trap of the way writers set certain dynamics up. You will fall into the trap of falling within their intentions. So if the writer, and this goes for any piece of media, I'm talking about shows, movies, the news, you could read an article about Israel and Palestine and how the Palestinians are guilty and they're not letting us stay in our God-given land. Meow, meow, meow. And they could give you bits and pieces of information and evidence to quote-unquote support their claim. But and however, if that's all you are consuming, then you're going to fall for the trap that the writers of that article have set up for you. That it's one-sided and that this is the only right way of thinking. And I feel like that could just be so detrimental. Like, I just want people to go in with discernment. If you are watching a show, don't fall for the trap that the writers give you. Obviously, there's more to the characters and they are layered and they've got personality. So get to know them. Anything that you consume, really, get to know that piece of information that you're consuming and then make judgment on that. Take it in again if you need to, but as long as you feel like, okay, I can make a clear judgment on it, then do so. With this topic, I was mainly just talking about the shows that I've watched because I wanted to keep it lighthearted. Stefan is not the better brother. Shut up. And I know not a lot of people say this. Actually, online, the popular opinion is that Damon is the better brother. But I just wanted to come on here and say that I disagree with how the writers have set it up, making it seem like Stefan is the better brother when he really is not. Or making it seem like Serena is the better friend when she's not. But yeah, that was a little short, quick episode. I'm gonna go Westfield today because I have some stuff that I need to buy. I'm so excited, guys. I haven't done a shopping spree in ages. I'm just a girl, okay? I want to do retail therapy, so I'm gonna go Westfield and have some fun. And yeah, hope you have a great day, morning, night, evening, whenever you're listening to this. Make sure you eat and drink some water, bitch. Okay, I'm gonna go get ready, but make sure you follow me on Instagram at the Socks of Podcast XO, and on TikTok at the Socks of Podcast, and all my personal socials and business socials. I'm gonna just put it in the description because I'm sick and tired of seeing the outro making it long. Anyways, love you. XOXO. Gossip girl. Bye.